How's it going, guys, and welcome to today's video. You know, a lot of days on the ranch are not really consumed by one big project, but more by a bunch of small ones, and that's kind of what today is going to look like for me. So I thought I'd bring the camera along and show you guys what I'm up to. That's what we're doing today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. Last night I started the water out here in the front field, so the first thing that I need to do this morning is come out and check the water and see how far it's got. And it looks like we do have a couple that are finished already, so I'm going to run back up to the other end of the field and close those valves. While we're driving around the pasture to get up to those valves that we need to close, it just so happens we can drive right by the cows, kind of see how they're doing. I also want to go check their mineral trough and see where they're at on that. I think it's been about, has it been 2 weeks or 1 week? I think it's been 2 weeks since I gave them 150 pounds of the wind and rain mineral. Yesterday, I noticed that they had just licked it clean, so I gave them another 50 pounds. It might rain tomorrow, so that's going to be kind of a test for this wind and rain to see if it really can get wet, but I didn't want to put another 150 pounds in there and realize that the whole thing about that getting wet and not being harmed by it wasn't completely true. So this will be a good test because I've only got 50 pounds in there, and they probably ate some of it last night. They definitely got into that stuff again. They probably, they might have eaten half of it. So, but yeah, there's still a little bit left in there. And I'm thinking if it rains a little bit tomorrow, that's going to be a good test for that wind and rain to see if it can really get wet like they claim that it can. All right, let's go close those valves. But Maggie, you're going to stay here because I don't need a bunch of wet paw prints on my back seat. When we were on the other end of the field, it looked like it was number 6 and number 7 that were finished. Number 7 is pretty easy. I can get right up to it. Number 6, on the other hand, I am definitely getting my boots wet. All right, these are going to be good for a little while. We'll have to come back in probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. Check on them again. Hopefully a few more will be done and we can shut them off as well. Now it is off to the next job. Well, you might have guessed it when I was hooking up the trailer, but yeah, we got to get the rest of the bales out of this field. I'm just down to the damaged pig bedding bales, so there's not too many here, but still a job I'm not looking forward to, but something that's got to get done. that job is done. That's one I don't look forward to, so I think now would be a good time for lunch. But first, I'm gonna fly the drone down and see how the water's doing. All right, I got some lunch. I feel better now. That water, I'm thinking a lot of it's going to be ready to be shut off, or it's probably at least to the point now where I can go ahead and set the timer on the pump. While I'm down at the ranch, the other thing that I need to do is look for a 55-gallon drum. So I want to try to grind up a bunch of rice for these pigs because they're starting to eat a lot more now. And these little blue barrels that I've been putting it in, it's just not cutting it anymore. So I need to try to find something a little bit bigger that I can put the ground up rice into. All right, let's go set the clock on these valves, and then I'll try to scare up a 55-gallon drum somewhere. I have a pretty good idea of where I can find one. There used to be a bunch back there, so we'll see if they're still there. My memory told me that I had a 55-gallon drum down here, and sure enough, oh, there it is. I do. So I'm gonna peek inside that lid and tip that thing over. You never know what kind of, probably not really critters, but more like wasps or black widows might be living in that thing. So we're gonna check it out first, make sure the inside isn't totally disgusting, and that it is in fact suitable for keeping pig food in, and hopefully it is, and we can load it up and take it home. Usually, how about that? Actually got bags of feed in there. Wonder if there's anything in it. Okay. So now it's coming back to me. The reason that is here is because actually these used to be the pig pens a few years back, and I think that must have been what I was keeping sacks of feed in. So if it was good enough then, it'd be good enough now. Apparently that drum must have a little leak in it because there's a bunch of water in there. I thought it was like way too heavy, way heavier than it should have been, and yeah, it was full of water. So we're gonna have to get it home and get it cleaned out before we can put anything in it, obviously. So yeah, let's do that. For some reason I was really having an issue with this hammer mill plugging up on me. I'm not sure why. I think, well, I kind of know why. I was just pushing it too hard, getting impatient, trying to get done. Anyway, we got finished. For those of you guys that haven't seen the difference between milled rice and regular patty rice, let's look. This here is straight, just what's known as patty rice. This is basically directly off the plant. It still has a hole on it, and you can feed it that way, and I've done it before, but you have to soak it. It's really better when it's milled up. So this is what it looks like after it's ground up. You can see it's really fine, almost like fine sand or almost powder, some of it, but it feeds a lot better like this. Now that we are done grinding up this rice, I still have one more job to do. We are getting an uncharacteristic fall storm. We don't usually get rain here in September, but the weather report is calling for thunderstorms tomorrow morning and a 100% chance of rain. So I need to get all of my patty rice moved out in the open and get it under cover, because if it gets rained on, it's pretty much going to be ruined. I've got these 3 4x4 bins or totes or whatever you want to call them, and they are all full or somewhat full of patty rice. I could probably just put like a tarp or some sort of cover over the totes, but in my experience, whenever you do that, you end up getting some leaks and you'll get mold inside these bins, and yeah, it's just not something I want to deal with. What I think that I'm going to try to do is hook up my 3-point forks or lifting arms onto the tractor, grab these bins, and then put them in this little garage. So I guess I need to unhook that hammer mill, park it somewhere, hook up those forks, and get with it. These chickens know where to find a good meal. Every time I mill rice, in fact, those chickens are up eating it off of the hammer mill and off of the pile that's left on the ground. So they're a little bit smarter than people give them credit for. Once again, we've ran out of daylight, so I think this is a good time to call it a day. I've got everything under cover and I'm pretty well prepared for it to rain, so because I'm prepared, it probably won't rain at all, but you know what, honestly, that would be fine. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me today, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.